Have you ever sat looking at old messages and wondered, why did he care about me so much back then, but now he's strangely cold? There are men who used to text every day, asking if you had eaten, if you slept well, and just the fact that you were sad would make them panic and worry. But then, those same men gradually became silent, their inquiries became less frequent, and the eyes that once shone brightly when looking at you now only hold silence. What has changed? Could it be they no longer love? Or is there something deeper, more silent, that we have never thought about? 1. When men gradually become silent, it may not be because they no longer love, but because they are tired of their own role. In the early stages of love, men often take the initiative. They want to give, to protect, and to prove to you that I am someone who can make you happy. But over time, when the relationship enters a stable phase, many men begin to feel pressure. Not from you, but from the expectations they once created for themselves. They fear they are not as good as the initial image. They start to feel, no matter how hard they try, it is difficult to satisfy you. And then, to avoid facing the feeling of failure, they choose to be silent, to withdraw, and to care less. Not because they have stopped loving, but because they are lost. Love, for women, is connection. For men, sometimes it is a heavy responsibility they are not yet mature enough to bear long term. 2. The reason comes from the past. Old wounds make him afraid to love like before. Not everyone enters love with an intact heart. There are men who come to you after a broken relationship. They once loved deeply, made many promises, and were also deeply hurt. At first, they want to love you as a new beginning, as a way to heal. But old wounds, if not thoroughly dealt with, will always come back. Maybe you are not the one who hurt them, but your actions, words, or even closeness sometimes remind them of something from the past. They don't say it out loud. They just choose to step back, to protect themselves. Their indifference is actually a form of defense. They don't know how to keep loving, so they choose not to love too much. 3. Sometimes the change is not in him, but in the change of the relationship. Love does not stand still. Love is always changing, and so are both people. At the beginning of love, everything is new. But when you have been together for a long time, what once made the other person's heart flutter can gradually become ordinary. He used to care about you because you were something new, something that made his heart beat every day. But now, if the love between the two of you is not nurtured, if there are no more deep moments, no more genuine listening, then that space will gradually be replaced by silence. It's not that he is indifferent, but the relationship no longer gives him the feeling of being alive as before. A man, once he no longer sees himself as valuable in the relationship, will withdraw, silently, and sometimes forever. Conclusion. Love is not just words, but understanding. Changes in a man's behavior are sometimes not because he no longer loves, but because he is struggling with his own inner emotions. He doesn't know how to express himself. He is not good at sharing. And he is also afraid of being judged as weak if he says, I am tired, I am confused, I don't know what to do next. So, if you love someone like that, don't rush to blame. Observe more carefully, listen to what they don't say, and ask yourself, are you giving him the feeling of being himself, of peace? Or are you just expecting him to always be the hero in your imagination? Final message. Love needs to be nurtured every day. With listening, tolerance, and gentle silence is enough for the other person to dare to return to themselves. If you have ever loved someone like that, be patient. And don't forget to subscribe to the Reflection channel to listen to more things men don't say, but always want women to understand.